Thank you very much, Indira, and good night, please. My family and I are safe. Like you mentioned, we're in Kingston, Jamaica, which did not receive the brunt of Hurricane Melissa, but we did receive substantial wind and rain. Right now, it is still raining, and there is still some wind. I cannot imagine what it must have been like for those in the southwestern part of the country that experienced the brunt of Melissa's Category 5, 185 mile per hour winds, if what I experienced today was only tropical storm force.
Cal, can you paint us a picture of not just what it's like on the ground right now, but what have the last 24 hours been like for you and just for the people around you?
I should say, what has the past week been like?
Of course.
It has been very anxiety-filled. We've been expecting Melissa for the better part of a week. We were initially told that she would make landfall last week Thursday as a tropical storm, and so we've been in preparation mode since Wednesday of last week. School has been off since Thursday, and then it got pushed back to Saturday as a minor hurricane, and then Monday as a major hurricane, and then Tuesday as a Category 5. So it's just been anxiety-inducing. Today has been, it has been a lot. So here in Kingston, we started experiencing the rain and the wind probably around between 1 and 2 o'clock. Melissa made landfall in the southwestern part of the island, which is well over 100 miles from Kingston. It made landfall there around between 11 and 12 p.m., 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. today. And the reports that we're seeing out of that area is pure and complete devastation. It is a parish called St. Elizabeth, which is known as the breadbasket parish of Jamaica. So it is a very agricultural area. It is a very rural area. And it is also the area that was most heavily impacted by Hurricane Beryl last year. So it's a double one for them. And then it made its way north, so from the southwest to the northwest, and exited the island this evening near Montego Bay. And you may recognize that name as a very popular tourist destination. So it mashed up the agricultural belt and then mashed up the tourism belt, which are Jamaica's two major industries, which tells me that this economy will be reeling for some time to come. Not to mention the toll on lives. I've seen many appeals for people to be rescued right now, and I imagine there are probably thousands of people homeless tonight.
Is there at the moment any loss of life? What have you heard? I know you've lived through many stories as a journalist, but this one you're living personally. In addition to that, what's been actually the most striking or the most emotional part of this experience for you?
Well, I have not been able to monitor social media as actively as I would like, because we have lost power. We lost power from this afternoon, and I've been trying to preserve battery because I don't know when power will be back. So I don't know if there's been any loss of life yet. I do know that leading up to Melissa, leading up to the landfall, 3 people lost their lives in preparation for the storm. 2 of them were cutting trees and either fell or something, and 1 was electrocuted cutting a tree near a power line. I suspect there may be, based on the devastation I'm seeing and the images I'm seeing so far, the power company is saying that 70% of the island right now is without power. So the full extent will be known probably tomorrow in daylight when we go out and assess the damage.
All right. Well, I won't ask in regards to what to expect in terms of communication and recovery over the next few days, because like you said, you haven't really been monitoring, which I understand. I know that you're known for your work with Money Matters. What kind of economic or business impact are you already seeing or anticipating from this storm, Cal?
Right. So like I mentioned, the 2 major industries for Jamaica, agriculture and tourism, have been badly hit. And so we're fortunate that the capital, Kingston, has been spared, which is the financial center and the financial hub of the country, and also where a large amount of the population lives. But agriculture and tourism are 2 very, very important economic areas. Last year after Beryl, when St. Elizabeth was wiped out and all the agricultural crops were wiped out, we saw inflation lasting for several months, inflation spiking for several months because we didn't have certain crops and so on. And so we expect to see that impact again, and probably worse this year, plus the fallout from tourism being devastated as well.
We've never seen a hurricane of this magnitude, at least not for a while. I want to know, even though we saw it coming, it was slow to build, is it a kind of storm that you can actually prepare for, or did it catch a lot of people still, not being certain of what to do and how to prepare?
I think Jamaicans are used to storms. We had Beryl last year. Similar to Belize, we know what to do when a hurricane comes.
Right.
And because we had so much time to prepare from last week, we were expecting Melissa. I think most people were about as prepared as they could have been. As it relates to the government, yes, it is going to be a difficult recovery, but the economy has been in a fairly stable place over the past 5, 7, maybe even as much as 10 years. There is a catastrophe bond in place, and there are several measures that the government can access right now to help. That is not to say that Jamaica will not need as much help as is humanly possible, especially on a humanitarian level.
Kalilah, thank you. Thank you so much for taking time, especially under these circumstances, to share your experience with us. We're sending you love and strength from Belize to all of Jamaica, and we'll, of course, continue keeping you and everyone there in our thoughts and prayers. Please stay safe, and we'll catch up again, okay? Thank you so much for taking time out.
Thank you.
And
Bye.
for giving us update all day today. We really appreciated that, because so many on the ground have been so worried, okay? Be safe.